This is Charting Crypto for the first full week in April 2022, changing things up a little bit using our Trading View chart. Of course, what we have at the bottom here is the STC. It is a hybrid version of the MACD, Moving Average Convergence Divergence Indicator, along with a stochastics indicator. And we can see that it went green about the same time that our weekly vertical crossover occurred here. And what I want to show you this week in particular is the impact that Bitcoin has when it starts on a roll, when it has this kind of big push up, what it actually does across the board with all of the other cryptocurrencies. Of course, Bitcoin outweighs everything by just megatonnage if it were a nuclear device. And when it goes off, it affects everything. It radiates the whole market in a good way. Now, let's look at exactly, though, where Bitcoin is right now. We had that weekly vertical crossover that happened recently on the last weekly chart. And we see things slowing down a little bit this week. It started off not with a huge just run up, but remember, it is a sea change and it takes Bitcoin some time to again start moving in that direction. It's taken a while after Bitcoin peaked and then rolled over and then slid sideways and now is trying to gain. And again, this is a little bit different chart than I know that you're used to. What we see down here at the bottom is the 200 period moving average. And the rule we use is when we use this 200 EMA is that we only go long when it's above it. We go short when it's below it, so it is above it. And of course, when it goes from red to green on the STC indicator, that is, of course, when we jump in. We also have our average true range bands, and all those things are at play here. Now, this is what the weekly looks like. We look at the 2-day. It's been green for a while, and of course, it's just now pushing above the 200 period moving average line, exponential moving average line on its own chart. So we're keeping an eye on that. We can see where things popped up for the most recent high on the 28th on this 2-day chart. And again, things have been sliding sideways, still green, so we're keeping an eye on that. We go to the half day, and remember, this is a 24-hour chart. So, and when I say half day, it's literally 195 minutes. So if we broaden this out a little bit, so you can see just what's going on. Of course, you can see where it is above the 200 period moving average line. We'll crank this in a little bit. And you can go out in time some and see the way it has been climbing. But again, this is happening over 195-minute periods over 24 hours. So it's not like our half-day chart that we typically use in our trading, where you've got a market that's open from 9:30 until 4. But again, we can watch the ebb and flow of Bitcoin, and it's fascinating to compare this to something like XBTC. When we go to our, in fact, as I'm talking about this, let's just go there. And comparing what you see there in, XBTF. Sometimes it's hard to keep all those little identifiers available. Not been around long enough to have a 200 period moving average line, but we know that it is above it. And again, you can follow the machinations as they occur on these ETFs. Now, for me, I have been doing my trading on XBTF. Why? Because I'd prefer to deal with an ETF than I would jumping into some of these various Bitcoin exchanges. Fine, if you want to do that, no problem. The thing I like is when I'm trading at any of the online trading exchanges where I have accounts, I don't get charged anything. Getting in, getting out, there is no fee. Now, of course, there are management fees for the ETFs that do translate into the equation. But as far as me jumping in, jumping out, particularly for short periods of time, that's not hitting me at all. I'm not paying like 0.5% or 2%, whatever it is, to jump in and jump out. So again, things for you to consider. How's that going to work for you? I don't know. You know how you figure it out? You practice trade it, then you fractionally trade it, and you see what works and what doesn't. So getting back to where we are on these cryptocurrencies, we're talking about what's up, and we'll go back to the weekly chart. What's up on Bitcoin? Bring this down a little bit. Make sure that you can see the 200 period moving average line. As Bitcoin has gone to green, been going up these last 3 weeks or so, how's the rest of the market been reacting? Well, check out what's happening, of course, with Ethereum. It's gone green also, as it too is moving up. And we go to Cardano, it's green. We go to Solana, it's green. We go to, something like XRP. We go to, is this Polkadot or Doge? This is Polkadot. We see it moving in the same direction. Now, it's not flipped over yet. But again, the one thing as we go through all these various coins, you can see the impact as far as price movement goes, and in many instances, you can also see what's happening on the STC band as price is being heavily affected across the board when this entire space heats up. So does it matter what Bitcoin does? It does. How does that affect you in these other coins? Well, it looks to me like it's having quite an effect. So keep that in mind as you're looking at other coins. Remember the impact. Now, they can all move independently, of course, but I again analogize this to the big tide coming in. If you got a little boat, if you got a big boat, when the tide flows in, which is what Bitcoin is like, and everything else is a little boat, Ethereum's bigger than most of them, than the others, but nowhere near the size of Bitcoin. When that tide comes in, it floats all the boats. So pay attention to what's going on with Bitcoin, even if you're looking at practice trading and maybe fractionally trading at some point, some of these other coins that you're interested in. And again, all the rules we have apply. Don't forget to use the average true range to help you set your profit and loss bands. Don't forget to backtrack. Don't forget to set those profit and loss bands and abide by them. Don't forget to see how accurate you can be with your indicators, whether it's the MACD or the percentage version of it that we use on our standard charts, which is, of course, the price percent oscillator, along with the derivative oscillator, whether it's the STC, whatever it is you're using, of course, and always use our always winning strategy. That, again, requires you to look at the amount of volatility, adjust your standard trade based upon that, and then that way you don't take catastrophic losses. If you've not taken that training, again, I'm going to attach it at the end of this video. I want you to have the training on the always winning strategy and using the average true range bands to make sure that you're being smart about what you're doing. And with that strategy, you only have to win 4 out of 10 times. If you do 10 trades a month, you only win 4 of them, you're still in the green. And that is a way to do it. And you might say, well, Tom, what does that in the green mean? Well, if you watch the training that we have, as little as 2% a month on your trading can be what? 2% growth every month. What does that translate to if you do that month in and month out? 24% a year. Rule of 72 tells you that it takes just a little over 3 years to double that money, then to double that money again, then to double that money again. Those you have a long time horizon, if you just do that, my friends, you'll be okay. Practice to become perfect. And perfect practice is the best practice of all. And you do that by paying attention every single day, 10 to 15 minutes. That's all we ask. We always love to hear from you. And we, of course, appreciate so much our Patreon supporters who help pay for the bandwidth, the webmasters, all the costs here at the channel for us to bring this to you for free every day. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.